This is Force 13's Australia Oceania Channel for Monday, the 13th of May 2019, where Cyclone Ann remains a Category 2 system, but is expected to weaken later today. There are no warnings or watches currently in place. And here's the latest from the Tropical Cyclone Warning Centre. It's at 10 a.m, intensity 2. Sustained winds near the centre at 95 kilometres per hour with wind gusts to 130 kilometres an hour. And is currently located within 110 kilometres of 15.4 degrees south, 154.5 degrees east, 950 kilometres east of Cairns, moving west-northwest at 24 kilometres an hour. And it's in the far eastern Coral Sea, moving west-northwest as mentioned. And it's expected to continue to move in a west-northwesterly direction as a low-end Category 2 system before beginning a weakening trend later today, and it's a Cat 1 on this Saffir-Simpson hurricane scale. And here's the Bureau's latest track chart on the cyclone. And on the screen is a look at the NOAA floaters and what's the Joint Typhoon Warning Centre saying. They have it at 15.9 degrees south, 155.6 degrees east, and they have 55 knots gusting 70 knots, and is 567 nautical miles east of Cairns, tracking west at 13 knots over the last 6 hours. Animated enhanced infrared satellite imagery reveals a 200 nautical mile central dense overcast cloud signature despite the CDO obscuring the low level circulation. There is high confidence in the initial position based on extrapolation from a pair of microwave images, 37 gigahertz and 85 gigahertz, that show a partial microwave eye wall. The initial intensity of 55 knots is consistent with PGTWKNES flag intensities at T 3.5, 55 knots. The environment is marginal with low 10 to 15 knot vertical wind shear, exit of poleward outflow being partially offset by tippet, TEPID. I love the wording in some of these advisories. 26-27 Celsius sea surface temperature and a tongue of relative dry air wrapping in from the north. For the duration of the forecast, the cyclone will track along the northern periphery of a subtropical ridge. The marginal environment will limit further intensification, but it's expected to allow the cyclone to maintain intensity until 36 hours, and at that point increased vertical wind shear is expected to begin a gradual weakening trend that will continue until dissipation. Shortly after 48 hours, landfall is expected on the Cape York. Prior to the 72-hour mark, the system is expected to be over the Gulf of Carpentaria, but by the 96-hour mark, the cyclone should dissipate near Go, Northern Territory, with the exception of NAFGEM, which is a southern outliner. Dynamic model guidance is in good agreement. The Joint Typhoon Warning Centre track forecast is hedged slightly north of the consensus track to offset the influence of NAFJAM with fair confidence, and wave height is 21 feet. And the latest is 15.5 degrees south, 154.2 degrees east, 50 knots, central pressure 999, tropical cyclone formation alert. And we go to see another tropical system to the east of Honeyara. We will continue to bring the latest information on the cyclone. And here's a look at the various models, their tracks. And it looks like model consensus shows that, or indicates that the system is likely to track across Cape York, the top end of the Gulf of Carpentaria, possibly over Gove Northern Territory. The models on the right hand side of the screen, and they're represented by individual colours. Late cycle intensity guidance, we know it's a weak category 2 on the local scale and a cat 1 on the other scale. Late cycle track guidance. And these tracks, the last three, are on the Tropical Tidbits website. And the GFS precipitation model latest information's at the bottom of the screen. An apology for the technical issue in the update that I did for the main channel. And again, it's the area in yellow through to dark brown. And finally, in this particular update, we have a look at the 24-hour shear tendency, and the information's on the right hand side of the screen. And you can clearly see where the cyclone is, and another look at the satellite imagery of the cyclone up to earlier today.
You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com with the latest. You can also find our YouTube page. You're probably there already, but if not, subscribe if you haven't so far. You can also find our Facebook page, Force 13 all in text, and it's at Force 13 on Twitter if you'd like to get in touch with us on there. You can also help the project become even better by enjoying the benefits of patronage. You can find out more information about how to become a patron and what those benefits are at patreon.com/Force13. You can also add Force 13 on Skype and Fool 13 at extension 9094 on Discord for tropical weather chat.